with a professional record of 15 wins from 18 contests, 10 inside the distance, and weighing in at 11 stone 4.5 pounds. He's the reigning South African middleweight champion and challenger for the title. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Cameron. And his opponent in the blue corner with the navy shorts. He comes from Leicester in England with a great record of 41 wins from 44 contests, 31 inside the distance, and weighing in at 11 stone 5.25 pounds. Will you welcome, please, the reigning WBO middleweight champion of the world, Chris Pyatt. Ladies and gentlemen, 12 3-minute rounds. I thank you all.
Well, the thing about this now, we're not sure what the South African's got. It's the first time he's fought outside of South Africa. And that's the referee there, Bobby Gonzalez from Texas, doing his 9th World Championship fight. And as he came into the ring there, Chris Pyatt, well, I tell you, looked like back in his amateur days, he was full of himself, looking in trim shape. New kit, the whole thing. It's really difficult in becoming champion, and I thought he definitely deserved it against Sandhu Kalambe in Leicester. He fought, Kalambe is one of the best fighters around, and he fought really well that night. So now let's see what 24-year-old Mark Cameron's got. Comes out of Cape Town, he's a gymnasium instructor. Well, the word from South Africa, Jim, the magazine judge over there is very good, but Blurd was telling me that this was always fit, he was giving you a good rumble, but I said, well, I think, you know, on record, surely 44 fights Pyatt is going to be so much advanced. But he said, no, you know, an upset's always possible with a tough guy like him.
Well, the fact that he's taller than Pyatt, longer reach, and he looks at a fairly controlled boxer. He hasn't taken any chances in the first minute here, hasn't done anything reckless. Keeps his elbows down, his chin down and his hands up. He's just trying to measure the range with his left hand. So he looks a fairly careful type. So if he's careful, strong and fit, then he can give Pyatt some problems. But you have to think Pyatt is a better all-round fighter. That left jab of Cameron's, it keeps poking it out, and it's difficult to get. It's one of those jabs difficult to get past. Nice little right hand from Cameron too there.
Pyatt tended to adopt different tactics when he went up from light middleweight, 11 stone, to present weight tonight, 11.5 1/4. And it's maybe a bit more difficult to knock people over, and I've got to change more work. And he's done that quite successfully, really. Very explosive puncher early on, particularly in his amateur days.
Pyatt whips his punches from body up to head very well, puts them together well. He doesn't want to stand off. I know it's only the first round here, so he's only having a look at Cameron. But he doesn't want to spend too long in this fight standing off. This fella looks very well controlled.
Pyatt's out of a
very wide stance, the South African. Anchors himself a bit to the canvas.
Well, as you say, Pyatt's having a bit of a look at him, Jim. I think he didn't know what to expect. Oh, yes. He hit him what looked a light punch, and suddenly he let one go there right out of the blue. Well, I was just saying he was an explosive puncher. Now the bell has rescued him there. No, he's counted him out in the act of rising, and quite rightly, actually. The bell has sounded. I thought he'd rescued him there and that he's considered him up, but no, right on the bell there, quite right. The referee can carry on counting to ignore the bell. Well, it's got to be a shock like that, because he didn't look a bad fighter, Jim. He's been stopped on twice on previous occasions, obviously. But I mean, he just tickled him with the first right hand, and then immediately afterwards, the big one went in.
Actually, the first right hand was a little bit more than a tickle. It could have stunned him slightly, but the second one was certainly the finisher. A couple of good punches. A little right hand, just to kind of set him up. You know, caught him bang on the chin the first one. A decent little sharp shot. Bang. That was a decent little shot. You can see the effect on his legs. Got a chance. Bang. And it went. But I have to say, Reg, most referees, after the bell has rung, if the boxer reaches his feet, most referees would let it continue. I wonder if the referee didn't hear the bell.
Yeah,
okay, Cameron was shaken by that one. Down with a real good right hand, obviously badly hurt. When he got to his feet, he was shaken. But it's possible at this point the referee didn't hear the bell, because the fact that Cameron got up of his own accord and it was the end of the round. I mean, the full minute between rounds, he could have recovered. So wonderful punch that knocked him over. But I'm surprised that the referee stepped in. I wonder if he didn't hear the bell. Here it comes again. Nice little right hand to set him up. Steps in with it, bang on the chin. That was a shaker.
Yeah, it wasn't a tickle. I take
then
that
the finisher,
back.
Yep.
Well,
two good shots.
It was a tickle by Pyatt standards. I'll get out of trouble and say that. Well, he really looking forward now to defending the game and getting hold of some good money.
And ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first round, by a count out, the winner, Pyatt.